If you're over 60 and you're navigating the world of relationships, you might have this feeling, this sense that you're totally lost. It's like the map you've used your whole life to find love just doesn't work anymore. What used to feel so natural now just feels confusing. Well, today we're going to explore this new territory. And trust me, it's not a barren wasteland. It's a whole new world of connection, one where you're in charge. Let's dive in.
And this, right here, gets to the heart of it. The shock isn't just about dating apps or how much the world has changed. The real shock is internal. You know that feeling, right? You meet someone who, on paper, seems perfect. They've got that spark, that high-octane energy that would have been absolutely irresistible to you at 25. But now, instead of a thrill, you just feel drained. It's like a tax on your whole nervous system. Now, this doesn't mean you've lost your passion. It means your system is running a brand new, much more sophisticated program. So, to really get a handle on this new program, we've laid out a roadmap for our deep dive today. First, we're going to decode this rewritten operating system of love. Then, we'll get into the fascinating science behind it all. After that, we'll talk about what this means for choosing a partner. I'll give you a practical toolkit to use, and we'll wrap up with a new, really empowering way to look at this amazing stage of your life.
Okay, so let's start with the big mystery. Why do your attractions feel so completely different? Why has your definition of a spark totally changed? It's so easy to blame yourself, isn't it? To think, oh, I'm just getting cynical, or I'm just too set in my ways. But this isn't about you failing at something. It's much, much deeper. It's happening on a neurological level, and believe it or not, it's a huge sign of growth.
Just think about it for a second. That passionate, unpredictable artist type. Or the person with a thrilling but totally chaotic life story. Maybe the high-powered executive always chasing the next big thing. In our youth, these people spelled excitement, adventure. We were drawn to their fire because, hey, we were busy building our own. But now, that same fire can feel like a 5-alarm blaze you have absolutely no energy to fight. You find yourself just craving a conversation that ends when it's supposed to, or plans that don't get canceled at the last minute. You want a partner whose presence leaves you feeling more settled, not less. If any of this sounds familiar, I promise you, you are not alone. It's what happens in our sovereign years.
And this is the core idea I really want you to embrace. This change is an upgrade. Your brain isn't broken, it's become more sophisticated. It has spent more than 6 decades collecting data on what actually sustains you versus what just entertains you for a little while. It's learned the difference between the junk food of drama and the steady energy of peace. You're not settling for boring, you're optimizing your life for what we call resonance, that deep, harmonious alignment that actually supports your well-being.
Let's break this down a bit. The old model of love, the one we all grew up with, was basically competitive. We were building our identities, our careers, our families. We were looking for a partner who could challenge us, help us grow, and compete alongside us out in the world. It was all about expansion. Well, the new model is integrative. You've already built your world. You have a full, complete life. The goal now is to find someone whose complete life can peacefully integrate with yours, without either of you having to do some massive, exhausting renovation project. The spark you're looking for now isn't a wildfire that clears the land for something new. It's the steady, warm glow of a pilot light, promising consistent warmth you can rely on.
Now, let's get into the science of this, because this isn't just some philosophical idea, it's biological. Your brain chemistry, your psychological priorities, they've literally evolved. And understanding this science is the key to finally trusting your new instincts. Think of this next part as the owner's manual for your upgraded brain. So the first big concept is something called the homeostatic realignment. When we're young, our brains are just swimming in dopamine. Dopamine is all about novelty, reward. It's the chemical that makes the thrill of the chase feel so good. But as we get older, our brains naturally realign to prioritize oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone. Oxytocin is all about calm, connection, stability. So when you find yourself drawn to a calm person over a chaotic one, that's not you getting old. That's your brain being incredibly wise and seeking out the very chemical that will guarantee your long-term peace.
And it's not just brain chemistry. There's a psychological shift too, explained by what's called Socioemotional Selectivity Theory. Basically, as our perception of time changes, as we realize we have less runway ahead of us than behind us, our goals pivot. We're not so focused on just acquiring more things or preparing for some far-off future. Instead, our main goal becomes finding emotional meaning and keeping our day-to-day lives peaceful. Think of it this way. Compatibility at 25 is about building a future. Compatibility at 65 is about protecting a peaceful present. And the science on this is crystal clear. Our youth is fueled by testosterone and dopamine. a cocktail designed to make us chase intensity. Mature love, on the other hand, runs on oxytocin and vasopressin. And these hormones, they don't reward intensity. They reward shared pacing, mutual care, and, this is a big one, the ability to de-escalate conflict. Your body's basically telling you, hey, I can't afford the high price of drama anymore. It's searching for a partner who helps regulate your nervous system, not one who's constantly setting it off.
And finally, there's this really beautiful idea of the crystallized identity. After more than 60 years on this planet, you are no longer a work in progress. You've been through it, you've learned your lessons, you've built a self. You don't need a partner to be a mirror, to tell you who you are, or to help you find yourself. That work is done. You are a finished story. And because of that, you're no longer looking for a co-author to help you write the next chapter. You're looking for a witness, someone who can listen to, appreciate, and honor the incredible story you've already lived.
So we've covered the why, the deep biological and psychological reasons for this shift. Now let's talk about what this means for the actual choices we make. How do we take this newfound wisdom and use it to navigate our relationships? This is all about moving from a search for compatibility to a demand for alignment. Right. So if the goal isn't growth or expansion, or even that fiery passion we used to chase, what is it? What's the new North Star that should be guiding our choices in the second act? The new goal is something we call relational sovereignty. And this, my friends, is the ultimate luxury of later life. It's your absolute non-negotiable right to have a partnership that adds to your energy instead of draining it away. It's about protecting your peace like it's your most valuable asset. This means you get to stop being a hopeful applicant for someone's affection and start being a calm, sovereign auditor of the heart, assessing whether someone truly aligns with your core need for peace.
And that brings us to a really crucial shift. We have to change the fundamental question we ask ourselves. For decades, the guiding question was, do they excite me? That question prioritizes dopamine, intensity, and novelty. The new question, the sovereign question, is, do they calm me? This question prioritizes oxytocin, stability, and safety. And just asking this new question can lift so much of the shame or confusion you might feel when you don't get that chaotic spark. It validates the deep wisdom of your nervous system.
Just let that sink in for a minute. Stability is the new sex appeal. You know, in a world that is still obsessed with youth and drama, that's a pretty radical statement. But in the economy of your heart, things like stability, reliability, and emotional consistency are now the most valuable assets. The person who calls when they say they're going to call, who handles a little bit of stress with grace instead of panic, the person who provides a safe and predictable emotional space, that person has the new sex appeal. It's the appeal of a deep, unshakable peace.
Which brings us to this final reframe. You are not giving up on passion. You are graduating to a higher form of it. Think about it. Fire is chaotic, it's consuming, and eventually it just burns out and leaves ashes behind. But light? Light is steady, it's illuminating, it's life-affirming. It lets you see things clearly. Choosing a partner who brings calm and stability isn't choosing less. It's choosing a sustainable, nourishing energy that's going to light up the rest of your life.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we screen for this new criteria of calm and resonance? Let's get into the practical toolkit. We call it the Resonance Audit Protocol. And I want you to think of these not as dating tips, but as identity defense systems.
This protocol is a simple, 5-step process. It's designed to make you prioritize your nervous system over old romantic fairy tales. It gives you a solid framework for checking out potential partners based on all these principles of sovereignty and peace we've been talking about. So let's quickly walk through how to use it. First, the nervous system check. This is your #1 tool. After any interaction with someone, just stop and ask your body, do I feel calm or do I feel all wired up and exhausted? Trust what your body tells you. Second, the pacing alignment test. Just notice their tempo. Does their internal rhythm seem to sync up with yours? You're looking for harmony, not a constant clash. Third, the conflict de-escalation audit. Watch how they handle little stressors, like a waiter getting their order wrong. You're looking for poise, not panic. You can't afford a partner who defaults to chaos. Fourth, the narrative witness test. When you share a story, are they really listening or are they just waiting for their turn to talk? And finally, the independence clause. It is so important that they have their own friends and interests. You're looking for a parallel play model, where two complete lives make each other better, they don't just merge into one. Now, using this protocol really requires a shift in how we see ourselves. So this final section is all about embracing the power and wisdom of this stage of life and seeing our new, higher standards not as a problem, but as a badge of honor. For years, a person with high standards might have been called picky or hard to please. We need to throw that old idea right in the trash. The new reality is this: you are not hard to please, you are highly calibrated. Your internal system for detecting drama and misalignment has been fine-tuned over 60 years. It's an instrument of incredible precision, so honor it.
You are a master of discernment. Think of your life experience like learning how to tune a radio. For years, you might have put up with relationships that were full of static. Miscommunication, emotional noise, constant drama. You just don't have the time or the energy for that anymore. You are now skillfully tuning the dial, listening for that clear, clean frequency of truth, peace, and real connection.
And I really want to leave you with this encouragement. When you feel that pull towards what is calm, when you find yourself rejecting someone who seems exciting but feels exhausting, trust that feeling with everything you have. That is not fear. That's not you closing yourself off from life. That is the wisest part of you, your biological need for self-preservation, making sure that the peace you have worked so hard to build becomes a permanent state of being.
Really, the biggest takeaway today is that your shift in taste is a sign of biological wisdom, not decline. To put this idea into action, here's a gentle challenge for you. Sometime in the next day, think of one trait you used to believe was essential in a partner. Maybe it was a certain kind of ambition or that fiery passion. Then ask yourself, honestly, today, does that trait actually fuel my life or does it drain it? Because when you consciously update your criteria, you automatically update the life that follows.
Remember, the only currency that truly lasts is resonance. That feeling of deep, quiet alignment is worth more than all the fleeting sparks in the world. And the best way to start trusting this new wisdom is with that simple nervous system check we talked about. It's your most reliable guide. So audit the resonance, anchor the peace, and lead your life with the sovereignty you have so richly earned. Thank you for being here.